The Council of Stars gathered in the void between galaxies, as they had done for millions of years. These were the oldest races in the universe, the Ancients, the Void Walkers, and the Firstborn. Their forms were beyond physical matter, existing as pure energy and thought. "The new species has achieved faster than light travel," announced Elder Crix, his essence pulsing with concern. The youngest race to join the galactic community, the Traders, had discovered something disturbing in a distant arm of the Milky Way galaxy. "Which species?" asked Elder Vorn, though deep in his consciousness, he already knew the answer. "The humans of Earth, third planet from a yellow star, carbon-based, bipedal, extremely primitive by our standards," reported Trader Captain Rex, his 4 arms gesturing nervously. "They call their first FTL ship Hope. Such a simple name for such a dangerous moment." The council chamber fell silent. Every elder race knew the stories, the warnings passed down through eons. In the universe's long history, certain species had emerged with a particular trait, an unstoppable will, an ability to adapt and overcome that defied all logic and reason. The last such species had nearly consumed 3 galaxies before finally transcending to another dimension. "We must contain them," Elder Zara stated firmly. "The peaceful races of this galaxy cannot defend against what humanity will become." But Elder Crix disagreed. "Look at their history. Yes, they wage war among themselves, but they also show mercy. They create art. They love. Perhaps they are different from the devourers of old." "You are naive." Morn's energy crackled with anger. "Did you not study their world wars? Their nuclear weapons? They discovered atomic power and immediately used it for destruction. They pollute their own world. They fight over resources while millions starve. And yet, they survive. They always survive." The debate raged for cycles. Some elders wanted immediate action, to quarantine Earth, to prevent humanity from spreading. Others counseled patience and observation. The Traders, being the youngest race present at only 50,000 years old, remained silent, overwhelmed by the weight of the discussion. Finally, Elder Crix proposed a test. Send envoys to the outer colonies. Tell them of humanity. Warn them. Let them decide whether to welcome or reject these newcomers. The council agreed, though reluctantly. Messages were sent across subspace to every civilized world. Humanity has achieved FTL. They come from a death world where survival required violence. They are few in number, but possess dangerous adaptability. Proceed with extreme caution. Commander Jack Wilson stood on the bridge of humanity's first FTL vessel, the Hope, unaware of the cosmic debate surrounding his species. His crew of 30 humans had just completed their first successful jump, arriving at the edge of what their telescopes had shown to be a system with potential life. "Sir, we're detecting artificial structures," reported Lisa Brown, the science officer. "Multiple space stations, ships. This system is inhabited." Jack felt his heart race. First contact. Humanity's dream and nightmare rolled into one moment. Open all communication channels. Broadcast our peaceful intentions in mathematics and basic physics concepts. What happened next would confuse historians for generations. The alien stations, belonging to a race called the Shepherds, began powering weapons. Then, mysteriously, they powered down. Then up again. Then down double code, sir. I'm receiving a transmission. Tom Smith at Communications announced. It's in English. How is that possible? The message was simple. Humans, we have been warned about you. Our elders say you are dangerous. But we see your small ship, alone and broadcasting peace. We are confused. Please, explain yourselves. Jack looked at his crew. 30 humans, representing all of Earth, standing at the crossroads of history. He made a decision that would echo through eternity. Tell them the truth. he ordered. Tell them we are explorers, that we come from a harsh world that taught us to fight, but also to hope. Tell them we seek friends among the stars, not subjects. And tell them ... double quotes. He paused, thinking of Earth's bloody history and its beautiful art, its wars and its love stories. Tell them we are still learning to be better. The message was sent. The galaxy held its breath. And in the void between galaxies, the Elder Council watched with a mixture of fear and fascination as humanity took its first steps into the cosmic community. Asterisk. The shepherds were not warriors. For 3,000 years, they had tended to vast herds of space-dwelling creatures that fed on solar radiation, providing food and materials for dozens of peaceful worlds. Their leader, Captain Dow, faced the most difficult decision of his life as he stared at the human vessel on his screen. The Elder Council's warning had been clear. Humanity was dangerous. But the small ship before him seemed anything but threatening. It was crewed by galactic standards, held together with what appeared to be primitive welding and hope. Yet it had achieved FTL travel, something that took most species millennia to develop. Humanity had done it in mere decades after achieving spaceflight. Captain, what are your orders? Asked his second-in-command, Officer Rin. The entire crew waited nervously. They had never faced a situation like this. Dow made his choice. Invite them aboard. We will judge them ourselves. The docking was awkward. Human and shepherd technology were barely compatible, requiring manual adjustments and improvised seals. When the airlock finally opened, Captain Dow found himself face to face with creatures from the Elder's nightmares. Humans were smaller than expected, standing only 2/3 the height of an average shepherd. They had no natural armor, no claws, no redundant organs that were visible. Their skin was soft, vulnerable, yet their eyes held something that made Dow step back involuntarily. Intelligence, yes, but more than that. A burning curiosity that seemed to consume everything it saw. Captain Dow, the human leader Jack, extended his hand. Dow had studied the gesture, a greeting that evolved from showing one carried no weapon. Such a violent origin for a peaceful gesture. Thank you for allowing us aboard. The tour of the shepherd station began peacefully. The humans marveled at everything, the biotechnology, the harmony of the systems, the sustainable cycles that had been perfected over millennia. But then they began asking questions that disturbed the shepherds. How do you defend against asteroid impacts? Lisa Brown inquired, scanning the station's hull. We don't, Rin answered. The probability is so low that, but it's not zero, interrupted Tom Smith. On Earth, we learned that even low probability events happen eventually. We call it Murphy's Law. The humans began pointing out vulnerability after vulnerability, not with malice, but with genuine concern. They spoke of redundancy, of backup systems, of preparing for the worst while hoping for the best. It was a mindset completely alien to the peaceful shepherds. Then the alarm sounded. Young shepherd burst into the meeting room. Captain, the Ravagers. They've entered the system. The Ravagers were pirates, outcasts from various species, who preyed on peaceful trade routes. The shepherds had always paid them tribute to leave in peace. It was easier than fighting. How many ships? Dahl asked, his 4 hearts sinking. 3 corvettes. They're demanding double the usual tribute. Jack and his crew exchanged glances. You pay them to leave you alone? He asked. It is the way of peace, Dahl replied, though he felt shame admitting it. We are not warriors. Neither are we, Jack said, surprising everyone. But we've learned that sometimes peace needs to be defended. Captain Dahl, would you allow us to speak with these Ravagers? Dahl was about to refuse when he remembered the Elder's warning. Perhaps he could see this dangerous adaptability for himself. Very well, but no violence. We will not have blood spilled here. The communication channel opened. revealing a scarred Ravager captain, a reptilian creature named Gorn. "Shepherds! You have strangers aboard. They will pay tribute too, or we take them as slaves." Jack stepped forward. "I'm Commander Wilson of Earth. We're new here, so let me make sure I understand. You want us to pay you to leave?" "Yes, human. Or face the consequences." Jack nodded thoughtfully. "Counter-offer. You leave now, and we won't show your friends what happens when you threaten peaceful people." The bridge went silent. Even Dal was shocked. The human had just threatened 3 warships with his single primitive vessel. Asterisk. Gorn laughed. "You have 1 small ship, human. We have 3. "You're right," Jack admitted. "But here's something you should know about humans. We're really, really good at math. Lisa, would you mind?" A science officer stepped forward. "Based on your approach vector and engine signatures, you're running on standard fusion drives, approximately 60% fuel capacity. Your weapons are plasma-based, effective range 10,000 kilometers. Our ship may be smaller, but we have something you don't. And what's that?" Gorn snarled. "Experience fighting when outnumbered," Jack said simply. "Our entire history is small groups defeating larger ones through superior tactics. But we don't want to fight. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to leave. The shepherds keep their tribute, and everyone stays peaceful." Asterisk Gorn's laughter echoed through the communication channel. "Humans, you amuse me. Destroy them." The 3 Ravager corvettes opened fire simultaneously. Plasma bolts streaked through space toward the Hope and the Shepherd station. Captain Dal closed his eyes, preparing for death. This was why the Elders had warned against humanity. Their recklessness would doom peaceful species, but death didn't come. "Evasive pattern Alpha," Jack commanded. The Hope moved in ways that shouldn't have been possible for a ship of its design. It spiraled, twisted, and somehow danced between the plasma bolts. The human crew worked with a synchronization that seemed almost telepathic. "Tom, broadcast this on all frequencies," Jack ordered. "Attention all ships. We are demonstrating human combat doctrine. Please observe." Lisa's fingers flew across her console. "Sir, I've calculated their firing pattern. They're using Standard Galactic Combat Protocol 7. It has a weakness." "Show me," Jack said. On the screen, Lisa highlighted a point in space. "If we position ourselves here, their own formation creates a crossfire blind spot. They'll risk hitting each other if they fire." The Hope accelerated toward the indicated position. The Ravager ships tried to adjust, but their formation training was too rigid, too traditional. Within seconds, the human ship had placed itself in a position where 2 of the 3 corvettes couldn't fire without endangering the 3rd. "Impossible," Gorn shouted. "No computer could calculate that fast." "You're right," Jack replied. "Lisa did it in her head. Humans are really good at seeing patterns. It's how we survived on our world. Tom, are you ready?" "Ready, sir." The Hope's weapons were primitive by galactic standards, simple kinetic projectiles accelerated by magnetic rails. But Tom had done something unexpected. He hadn't aimed at the Ravager ships. Fire. 3 projectiles launched, but not toward the corvettes. They streaked toward debris floating in space, remnants of old satellites the shepherds had discarded. The projectiles struck with precise force, sending the debris spinning toward the Ravager formation. "What are you doing?" Dal asked, confused. "Physics," Lisa answered. "Newton's 3rd law. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction." The debris, now turned into improvised projectiles, forced the Ravager ships to move. As they dodged, their formation broke completely. The 3rd corvette, trying to avoid collision, exposed its engines. "Tom, disable only." "No killing," Jack ordered. A single precise shot from the Hope struck the exposed corvette's engine assembly. The ship went dark, drifting helplessly. "One down, 2 to go," Tom reported, but Jack raised his hand. "Gorn, you've lost a ship. We could destroy the others, but we won't. This is what humans call mercy. Take your wounded ship and leave. Don't come back, you ... You're letting us go?" Gorn's voice was shocked. "We're not conquerors," Jack explained. "We're explorers. But we will defend our friends. The shepherds are under our protection now. Spread the word." The 2 remaining Ravager ships collected their disabled companion and retreated. The entire engagement had lasted less than 5 minutes. Captain Dahl stared at the humans in awe and terror. "You defeated 3 warships without killing anyone. How?" "Where we come from. Killing is easy," Jack said sadly. "Learning not to kill, that's hard. We've had too much practice at both." The news spread across subspace like wildfire. A single primitive human ship had defeated 3 corvettes without a single casualty. Some species saw it as proof of human nobility. Others saw it as proof of their dangerous tactical brilliance. On the Elder Council, debate erupted anew. They showed mercy. Elder Crix argued. They could have destroyed those ships, but chose not to. They showed tactical superiority, Vorn countered. They turned physics itself into a weapon. They saw patterns no computer calculated. This is exactly what we feared. Elder Zara remained silent, studying the recordings. The humans had done something no species had done before. They had protected strangers not for gain, but for principle. Yet they had done it through violence, controlled and precise, but violence nonetheless. "We must test them further," she finally declared. "Send word to the Empire of Scales. Let them know humanity exists. Let us see how these humans handle a true military power." Meanwhile, aboard the Hope, Jack received a message from the shepherds. Captain Dahl appeared on screen, his expression unreadable. "Commander Wilson, you saved us. But you also terrified us. The galaxy now knows humanity exists. Some will welcome you. Others will fear you. And some ... double quotes," he paused. "Some will test you. Be ready." Jack nodded. "We've been tested our whole existence. We're still here." "That," Dahl said quietly, "is what scares us most." Asterisk. The Empire of Scales controlled 37 star systems and commanded the largest military force in the local galactic sector. Their emperor, a massive reptilian being named Throne, had ruled for 3 centuries through strength and intimidation. When news of humanity reached his court, he saw not a threat, but an opportunity. These humans defeated pirates with a single ship? Throne asked his military advisor, General Carr. "Yes, Emperor." "Through unconventional tactics and ... Creativity," Carr reported, saying the last word as if it tasted bitter. "Send the 5th Fleet," Throne commanded. 20 ships. Give these humans a choice. Submit to the Empire or be destroyed. Let us see if their mercy extends to those who refuse it. 3 weeks after the Ravager incident, the Hope was docked at the Shepherd Station, its crew helping repair and upgrade the defenses when the 5th Fleet arrived. 20 massive warships dropped out of FTL in perfect formation, each one dwarfing the tiny human vessel. Admiral Vex of the 5th Fleet opened communications to the entire system. "Humans, I bring greetings from the Empire of Scales. You have proven yourselves capable warriors. The Emperor offers you a place in our empire. Submit, and you will be protected and given territory. Refuse, and we will demonstrate why the Empire rules this sector." Jack looked at his crew. They had been expecting something like this. Earth's history was full of empires demanding submission from smaller nations. Sometimes those empires won. Sometimes they didn't. "Admiral Vex," Jack responded. "We appreciate the offer, but humanity doesn't kneel. We came to the stars as free explorers, and that's how we'll stay. Then you choose destruction, Vex stated. You have 1 hour to reconsider. The channel closed. Captain Dal approached Jack, trembling. You must run. The Empire doesn't make empty threats. 20 ships against 1? It's suicide. Maybe, Jack agreed. But we're not going to run. And we're not alone. He turned to Lisa. How long until the surprise arrives? Lisa smiled. 43 minutes. Dal was confused. What surprise? You've been here for weeks. Captain Dal, want to know humanity's real strength? Jack asked. It's not our tactics or our adaptability. It's that we never, ever leave anyone behind. And we always prepare for the worst. 30 minutes passed. The Empire's fleet began powering weapons. Then, space itself seemed to tear open as 14 more human ships dropped out of FTL. They weren't warships. They were mining vessels, cargo haulers, and scientific explorers that humanity had been building in secret while the Hope made first contact. Admiral Vex, Jack broadcast, meet the Earth Relief Fleet. We figured if we found friends, they might need help. If we found enemies, we might need backup. 15 ships against 20? You're still outmatched, Vex laughed. Are we? Jack asked. Lisa, show them what human cooperation looks like. The 15 human ships moved in perfect coordination, but not in any formation the Empire recognized. They created a 3-dimensional web, each ship covering another's weakness. The cargo haulers deployed mining drones that had been repurposed as sensor decoys. The scientific vessels began broadcasting interference that made targeting difficult. This is chaos. Vex shouted. Fight properly. This is human warfare, Jack replied. We don't fight properly. We fight to win. But Admiral, we still don't want to fight. Your empire is based on strength, right? How about a challenge instead? What kind of challenge? Single combat. Your best warrior against ours. Winner takes all. No deaths, just victory. The bridge of every ship went silent. Single combat was an ancient tradition, but no one had invoked it in centuries. Emperor Throne himself appeared on screen, having monitored the situation. Interesting. You would risk everything on one fighter? We would, Jack confirmed. Very well. General Carr will fight. Choose your champion. Everyone expected Jack to choose himself or Tom, the tactical officer. Instead, he turned to the smallest member of his crew, Engineer Amy Park, barely 5 feet tall. Amy, you're up. The arena was set up in the Shepherd Station's cargo bay. General Carr stood 9 feet tall, covered in scales, with claws that could tear through metal. Amy walked in, wearing a standard EVA suit and carrying ... nothing. Where are your weapons? Carr demanded. Don't need them, Amy replied. I'm an engineer, Carr charged. Amy dodged, not with grace, but with efficiency. She had studied the videos of scale movement for the past hour, identifying patterns. When Carr swung his massive arm, Amy grabbed it and used his own momentum to flip him. It was physically impossible. She was too small, too weak. But she had positioned herself at exactly the right point, using leverage and physics. General Carr crashed to the ground with a thunderous impact that shook the entire cargo bay. The 9-foot warrior tried to rise, but Amy had already moved, using cables from her EVA suit to tangle his legs. It wasn't strength that kept him down. It was engineering. She had created a pulley system using the cargo bay's own loading mechanisms, turning Carr's own weight against him. Yield, Amy said quietly, standing over the fallen general. How? Carr gasped. You're so small, so weak. On Earth, humans aren't the strongest animals, Amy explained, helping him up after he yielded. We're not the fastest, don't have the sharpest claws or teeth. But we have something else. We can see how things work, can make them work for us. That's how we survived. That's how we reached the stars. Emperor Throne watched in silence. His best general, defeated not by strength, but by ingenuity. The human had turned the very room into a weapon. He could order his fleet to attack anyway, but something stopped him. Honor, perhaps. Or curiosity about these strange creatures. The Empire accepts defeat in this challenge, Throne announced. Humanity has earned its freedom. But know this, the galaxy is watching. Your actions today will echo across every civilized world. As the Empire's fleet withdrew, messages began flooding in from across the galaxy. Some species offered alliance, others trade agreements. But there were also warnings. Older, more powerful civilizations were taking notice of humanity. The Elder Council convened an emergency session. They defeated the Empire without firing a shot. Elder Crix exclaimed. They chose challenge over bloodshed. They turned combat into engineering, Vaughn argued. They're even more dangerous than we thought. They don't just adapt, they transform everything into an advantage. Elder Zara raised her hand for silence. The test is not complete. There is one final trial. She turned to the ancient archives, pulling forth a sealed directive that hadn't been opened in 1,000,000 years. The Void Seekers, the other elders gasped. The Void Seekers were a species of pure energy beings that existed between dimensions. They had been dormant for eons, waiting for a species worthy of their attention. You would wake them? Crix asked in horror. They will wake themselves, Zara replied. They always do when a species like humanity emerges. Better to control the encounter than let it happen randomly. 3 months passed. Humanity had established peaceful relations with dozens of species. The hope had become a symbol of Earth's peaceful intentions, while also demonstrating their capacity for defense. Small human colonies began appearing on abandoned worlds, always with permission from local species. Then they came. The Void Seekers appeared without warning in Earth's solar system. Not ships, but beings of pure thought and energy, each one capable of destroying entire planets with a focused thought. They spoke directly into every human mind simultaneously. Humanity. We are the Void Seekers. We have watched your emergence. You possess the trait, the ability to overcome through will and innovation. History shows such species either become destroyers or transcenders. Which are you? The President of Earth, Maria Rodriguez, responded through thought. We are survivors who choose to be builders. Prove it. We will test your entire species. Fail, and humanity ends here. Succeed, and the galaxy is yours to shape. The test was unlike anything humanity had faced. The Void Seekers created challenges that attacked not Earth's military might, but its character. They placed human colonies in danger and watched to see if Earth would sacrifice them or risk everything to save them. They created resource shortages to see if humans would war among themselves or cooperate. They offered individual humans godlike power to see if they would abuse it. For 1 full year, humanity was tested. And for 1 full year, humanity surprised everyone, including themselves. When colonies were threatened, Earth sent everything they had to defend them. When resources grew scarce, humans shared rather than hoarded. When offered power, individuals chose to use it to help others rather than rule them. Not every human passed every test. Some failed, gave in to fear or greed, but the majority held. And more importantly, when some fell, others lifted them back up. Finally, the Void Seekers rendered their judgment. Humanity, you are imperfect. You have violence in your nature, selfishness in your hearts. But you also have something we have not seen in 1,000,000 years, the conscious choice to be better than your nature. You do not overcome your darkness by denying it, but by acknowledging it and choosing light anyway. The galaxy is at a crossroads. Old powers grow stagnant, young races lack direction. You, humanity, will be the catalyst. Not as conquerors, but as the species that shows others what they could become. This is your burden and your destiny. The Void Seekers vanished, but their words echoed across every civilized world. The Elder Council's warning had been both right and wrong. Humanity was dangerous, dangerous to stagnation, to oppression, to the comfortable status quo. Within a decade, the galaxy had transformed. Humans were everywhere, not as rulers but as partners. They showed the shepherds how to defend themselves without losing their peaceful nature. They taught the traders about fair exchange. They even earned the respect of the Empire of Scales, who learned that strength could mean more than physical power. Captain Jack Wilson, now an old man, stood on the observation deck of New Hope Station, a massive human-alien cooperative venture. Lisa Brown, equally aged, joined him. "Did you ever think it would turn out like this?" she asked. Jack smiled. "We came looking for friends among the stars. We found something better, a family. The elders still watch us, you know. Still worried we'll become conquerors." "Let them watch," Jack replied. "They'll see what humanity really is. Not perfect, not peaceful, but always trying to be better. That's our real strength." In the void between galaxies, Elder Crix turned to his fellow council members. "I motion to end our observation of humanity. They have proven themselves." "Agreed," Zara said. "They are dangerous, yes, but dangerous to the right things." Even Elder Vorn nodded slowly. Perhaps the universe needed this kind of danger. The danger of change, of growth, of never accepting impossible as an answer. The stars had ignored the Elder's warning, and in doing so, they had found not conquerors, but catalysts. Humanity had come to the stars with a simple ship called Hope. They had transformed the galaxy with something even simpler, the belief that everyone, human or alien, could be better tomorrow than they were today. The story of humanity's emergence would be told for millions of years, not as a tale of conquest, but as proof that sometimes the most dangerous thing in the universe is not the species with the biggest weapons or the most advanced technology. Sometimes the most dangerous thing is the species that simply refuses to give up. Asterisk.